आनंद के प्रदाता, हे स्नेह शक्ति दाता, अव्यक्त बाप दादा सादर पधारिए।
कि बाप दादा हर बच्चे को विशेष दो रूपों से देख रहे। एक है कि हर एक बच्चा इस सर्व मनुष्य आत्माओं की पूर्वज है। सारे विद्या का फाउंडेशन हो, क्योंकि जड़ से सारा विद्या निकलता है और दूसरे रूप में पूर्वज बड़े को भी कहते हैं। तो सृष्टि के बाद में आप आत्माओं का पार्ट, इसलिए बड़े से बड़े इस कारण सर्व आत्माओं के पूर्वजों साथ साथ ऊंचे ऊंचे बाप के पहली रचना आप ब्रह्मांड आत्माएं, तो जैसे ऊंचे से ऊंचा भगवान है, वैसे बड़े से बड़े पूर्वज आप इतने सारे पूर्वज बच्चों को देख बाप हर्षित होते, आप भी हर्षित होते हो। देव कि हम पूर्वज हैं, उसी निश्चय और नशे में रहते हो पीछे बनते रहते हैं। तो बाप दादा आज पूर्वजों की सभा देख और साथ साथ दूसरा रूप देख रही है कि आप सभी जो भी बाप के बच्चे हैं, बच्चे का अर्थ है बाप का बनना, अर्थात बच्चे बनना। तो माया से बचे हुए बाप के बच्चे बनते हैं। तो आप सभी माया से बचे हुए हो ना।
प्यारे अपने परम धाम को छोड़कर प्रेम में भी तोड़ कर आप बाबा है आए हमारे लिए, स्वर्ग सौगात लाए हमारे लिए प्यारे।
बाप दादा की बात याद रखना भूल नहीं जाना। अच्छा
Om Shanti. Become free from problems. Become an embodiment of solutions and make others this also. Be Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. In order to have liberation from the storms of your thoughts or from any other relationship, or when any type of obstacle or storm comes, be Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. Until you become Yogyukt, you will be full of problems. Yogyukt souls change storms into a gift. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 17. Become free from problems. Become an embodiment of solutions and make others this also. Today's topic: be Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. How is everyone? Okay, very well. Are you going to Madhuban through your intellect? Because first mind and intellect reach, right? And then we go also with body. I hope you all get to travel. Either now we have until mid end of March, so you should, each one of you should have thought to come. Many ask me what is the exact meaning of Yuktiyukt. Yukti is actually method, in a way, that what is the yukti, what is the way. That means it's like even if you have to answer the right words at the right time, the right way to do it, it's like yukti. Yukti is not a trick, because some say, oh, it's like a trick. We don't play trick with anyone, not with the self or not with anyone. But like a doctor, he has to tell the patient exactly what it is. But he puts in an appropriate word. But if doctor says you're going to die this evening, even if that patient has to live or survive, he will really take it seriously now. So generally they will say to the family, this can make it maybe another day, it might not be that, maybe a few hours. So it's always yukti. Even some people say, oh, I am honest, I am frank, I am truthful, so I say the way the things are. But then if it causes sorrow, it hurts someone, or someone loses hope, get discouraged, it's not right? So that is why Baba says, even if you are saying it, yukti yukt, also needs to be Yogyukt. Be in Baba's remembrance. Think of your either eternal form or qualities of Baba, and then think of Yukti. Otherwise, Yukti, just only Yukti, could also become, so somebody said, what about being diplomatic? Even diplomatic is not good. Somebody, what about being smart? So all these are Lokik ways. You try to be smart, try to be diplomatic. But this Yuktiyukt is a very spiritual way, Baba says, because it's connected with being Yogyukt. Baba never said Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. So what is Yukt here means to be in yoga. Always use Yukti on the right method. So our homework for tomorrow is be Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. As I mentioned that every signal we hear, it has so much depth, You can keep reflecting, churning, and then when you experience, understand properly, and then you have to apply it. So you are not telling lie, right? But also you are telling the way it is, but with yukti. So I think we need to understand it more in order to have liberation from the storms of your thoughts, to be liberated from the storms of your thoughts or from any other relationship, or when any type of obstacle or storm comes, be yogyukt and yuktiyukt. Any storm comes, different kinds of storm, until you become yogyukt, will be full of problems. Because then bitterness in relationship, the comparison, dislikes, they start happening. So we have to be yuktiyukt. Yogyukt souls change storms into a gift. And actually in drama, what I have seen, whenever there is a kind of crisis or upheaval in any task or anything, something better emerges, because something had been going on, and even if you point out, it doesn't change. So in Baba's task, then it becomes like a storm. And if you have faith, you don't have fear, what will happen? Let's see, something good will emerge. This is what I have learned recently into many, many situations, that whenever I find that needs to be more honesty, need to be more truthful, so naturally, if something is lacking or some weaknesses in the awareness, then it will explode, In Baba's task, it can't go on for a long time, right? But then when it explodes, we shouldn't be fearful, because the solution which we will find together will work better. That's what that means. And that's also connected with being Yuktiyukt. We cannot blame anyone, point out towards anyone, even talk about anyone's weakness. It won't help, right? So I keep my words very polite, decent, so it doesn't create any animosity also. So it's like Yuktiyukt again. Many say, oh, why don't you say, why don't you tell, why don't you? But will it help, right? If not, then why should I? So I think that when we are yogyukt, we will know yuktis also. And sometimes we don't pay attention and then we're not yuktiyukt. So Bhava said that reactions come, problems are created. So that's how we looked at Davi's. Davi Gulzar also was in deep silence, but was yogyukt. Any answer they have to give, she was very yuktiyukt. If someone comes and complains, so Davi said, yeah, you are right, but the person you are talking about, we can call that person. And you say it, what you're telling me. Because she didn't want it to repeat. And I really learned, because if somebody is saying something for other person and I repeat it, it becomes my karma as well. Why should I? So Davi will smile and say, yeah, I can help, but you both talk amongst yourself. And that's what I had been doing these days anywhere. I said, oh, whatever you have, you tell me, and then if I say, that person will say, oh, you favor that person, you like that person, or you believed in that person. So I said, okay, Dadi Gulzar used to say, okay, call that person and you say in front of me what you told me. So that way a lot of things get sorted out also. Plus my involvement is not there. So it's very, very beautiful way to be Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. So think about it, pay attention, practice, so that we can be liberated from reactions. Om Shanti.
बारंबार है ये आंगन ये
Om Shanti, everyone. And here I am again after our trip to Dubai. And did you enjoy being in Dubai and being with the family in Dubai? And I'm not sure if they told you who the sister in charge is in Dubai. She's Sister Jyoti, the one that you saw with Sister Mohini welcoming her. And Sister Jyoti actually took knowledge in London. And she, from the very early days of the famous Tennyson Road. And then Jyoti was actually here in New York with Sister Mohini for a little bit, for a short time, and did service here with Sister Mohini. So it's interesting to see how people's paths cross. You know, Jyoti here with Sister Mohini in New York, now inviting Sister Mohini to Dubai and welcoming her with such grace and such love. So I'm sure we'll be having a little bit more. We'll be seeing her departure from Dubai tomorrow, I suppose. And we would have been with her on her trip. Today we are, we're preparing to do our practice tomorrow. And Sister Mohini has started to take us into the meaning of Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. So what I'll do tonight is maybe expand a little bit more, but in relation to how you could practice it tomorrow. So what I'll do, I'll give you a few options of what I've been churning on today. I'll try to talk you through so that it could be very simple. And then you could see how you can check yourself. Check to see if you're Yogyukt and if the Yogyukt is connected to the Yuktiyukt. Because I was looking at this word problems. And I said, what are problems? Baba is telling us when we're Yogyukt, we are able to solve these problems. And then, of course, when we're Yuktiyukt, we come into action with a certain awareness. So I thought of what are problems and how are problems created? How did we create problems for ourselves? And I thought that problems are perhaps consequences of actions that we do in the ignorance of the understanding of the law of karma. So problems are the consequences of our actions done in a state of ignorance. So in order to treat these problems, in order to get rid of these problems, I think we must use the basic way of looking at problems. And we must look at problems as simple things to solve. If we look at problems as complicated or as complex, then it's going to be very difficult to solve it. So to me, what I mean by simple, make the problem simple to solve, it means that I must understand what Baba is saying to me in the easiest manner, in the simplest manner, the relationship between cause and effect. So to me, a problem is simply this. It arises out of this connection of cause and effect. And when it's done in ignorance, the obvious outcome is a problem. So keep it simple, keep it clear, keep it to the law of karma, understanding the law of karma, and the law of karma being cause and effect, wisdom and ignorance. So I think that then we will see problems a little bit different. In other words, we will see that Baba is teaching us how to get rid of our problems, and he's giving us the help of yoga, the strength of yoga. So let me start off with this Yogyukt, Yuktiyukt, some examples by saying that the way to solve our problems is very easy because Baba has made it easy for us. And this is why Raj Yoga is called Sahaj Raj Yoga, easy Raj Yoga, because it makes it easy for us, our problems to solve. So then I started thinking about Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. And what Sister Mohini just said is very interesting because she said Yukt, whether it's Yogyukt or whether it's Yuktiyukt, the word Yukt is connected to remembrance of Baba. So when I'm in yoga, Yogyukt, I'm with Baba. When I'm Yuktiyukt, when I'm looking to see what is the best awareness that I have before I actually apply and actually do something, what is the clarity of the method I have? Again, I have to be Yuktiyukt. I have to be in Baba's remembrance. So that was very beautiful what she said. Yukt means to be in Baba's remembrance. So to me, to make it simple for myself to practice tomorrow, I thought that Yogyukt is actually the stage, the sthiti, the stage I have when I'm in remembrance, when I'm in yoga. And Yuktiyukt is the awareness that I have, the smriti, the awareness of the spiritual method. I'm clear about that before I apply, before I do an action, before I act. So Yogyukt is to be in the stage of yoga, to be in a sthiti, and Yuktiyukt is the awareness of the method that I have to apply, the smriti. So having said that, now I'll give you a few examples of when I was thinking about it. What do these things, how do they work for me? So if I have a problem and this problem is nagging me, this problem is creating a kind of a stir within me. For me, if I'm Yogyukt, Yogyukt would mean I'm in transcendence. Transcendence for me would be to go beyond the emotion that I'm feeling, to go beyond the guilt, to go beyond the blame, to go beyond repentance, to go beyond being a victim. And so I will then be Yogyukt. So I will be in the silence. I will go into that sweet spot of solitude, the silence within, which is called Ekant Priya. I will go there and I will stay in the remembrance of Baba, because then he protects me from those emotions of blame and guilt and repentance and victim. Then the yukti for me would be the method that I would try to create before I apply anything to my actions or my words. I think the clarity here to be Yuktiyukt is Baba is saying, Baba says, make a mountain into a molehill. Make something big into something small. And the yukti that he's given us to do that is don't ask why, simply fly. And so that's a yukti, right? But it has to happen first in the awareness. So don't ask why, simply fly means that I'm reducing it to not even a molehill, a little mustard seed. Something very small in my awareness before I come into action. And so this could be a practice you could have tomorrow. Another practice that I'd like to share is something I love very much, and it is called freedom. The practice of freedom from fear and freedom from want. Today, Baba warned us about desires and how desires will trap us in such a way that it will be very difficult to extricate ourselves from desires. So our own desires can become a problem for us. So if I'm Yogyukt and I need freedom from fear and freedom from want, that is desires, then I need to expose myself I need to not be afraid that I would hide myself. So in order to expose myself, I will be in yoga with Baba, knowing that Baba is the only one who knows me as I am. So there's no need to hide anything from him. So I'm free from the fear of what may be lying within me that is not so good, and I need to hide from Baba. And I need to also be open with him in who am I and what it is I want, rather than carrying what I want that becomes desire to trap me. And so the yukti then that would come from being in that yogyukt stage was, no matter what happens, no matter what is the problem I'm facing, no matter what is the issue at hand, I should not be afraid and I should not panic. And then the awareness here, the yukti that Baba tells us, if I can do that, if I can have the courage not to be afraid and not to panic, because I know that only Baba knows me as I am, then the yukti here is one step of courage brings multi-million-fold help from Baba. The other one, the third one I will share, and then maybe I'll stop there, is that I've been thinking about being yogyukt because Sister Mohini also touched on it, that sometimes a lot of our problems is with human beings, is in relationship, is with one another. So I was thinking of this and thought, yogyukt would then be a stage in which I must be loving, and I will use this word charity, and I must be charitable. So a yogic state, when I'm in remembrance of Baba, is that I become loving and I become a charitable soul. Now, the yukti that I would have in my awareness is, as I'm moving along, as I'm serving with others, as I'm relating to others, no matter what goes on, I must train myself to give the other the benefit of the doubt. And I think this term, the benefit of the doubt, is to be charitable. If I can do that, if I could give people the benefit of the doubt, then I'm a charitable soul. Because offering someone benefit of the doubt is I'm deciding that I won't assume the worst in them. And treating someone in a charitable way is to see a specialty in them. So the yukti here in my awareness is that I won't see the worst in them because I want to be charitable, and I will treat them in such a way that Baba tells me to look for a specialty in them, no matter how bad they may be, 99% bad, but look for a specialty in them. And you know what happens if we do that, if we become this loving, charitable soul, then the problem with people, I think, would decrease, because someone is much more likely to change their mind. They may even admit that they overreacted or that they were wrong, as Baba was saying this morning. Have we ever considered that both sides could be wrong, both sides could be at fault? So they would more likely change their minds. They would even admit that they overreacted or they were wrong. But that would only happen if they feel from me that I believe in them and I believe that their heart is good. They're coming from a good place. And I think that this is, for me, was the most important one in looking at Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. And I feel this is the one that I will practice tomorrow. But you could do the transcending one, transcending from transcending, going beyond the blame or the repentance or the guilt. And then you could make a mountain into a molehill. You could don't ask why, just fly, thinking that this too shall pass. That could be something you practice. Or you could practice freedom from fear, freedom from want. Look at your desires. Know that Baba knows you the best. And no matter what happens, your yukti will be that I will not panic. I will not be afraid, no matter what the problem is, because that one step of courage will bring multi-million-fold help from Baba. And then I would practice this loving kindness, this loving, charitable nature of myself. And I will give the other the benefit of the doubt. And the yukti that I will use is that to see a specialty in them, and I will never assume the worst in them. And most likely, they will respond in a very positive way because they will know that I believe in the goodness of their heart. So I leave these three with you today to practice your Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. And you may add to it. You may also say, you know, I'm going to be in a different one. I may be in, this beautiful saying that they have, it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. And so every time I connect to Baba, I'm lighting my candle of the soul. And so when the darkness of the problems come, the storms come into the mind, that candle will show me the enlightened wisdom that I should be using. And it will bring that awareness before I even do the action. So in a nutshell, as you could see, each one of them, I could take up a whole class, right, on it. I could do an hour's class on each one, but that's not that's not what I want to do. What I want you to do is to create your own tomorrow with your Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. And good luck. Okay? Om Shanti.
बाबा की आशाओं की बनी तस्वीर रूहानी है, करते रहे पूरी हर आज्ञा हमने ठानी है। बाबा की आशाओं की बनी तस्वीर रूहानी है, करते रहे पूरी हर आज्ञा हमने ठानी है। बड़ों के आशीषों की ये तो मेहरबानी है, मीठे सुरों की बनी सरगम सबको सुनानी है।
मधुबन में आते हैं पूरा अपने आप को रिफ्रेश होने, फुल होने, एक तो रिफ्रेश होने, दूसरा फुल होने के लिए। इतना फुल जो यहाँ से वहां जाए नहीं। अच्छा, ओके, ओके, अच्छा। हमने कहा 2 मिनट में आप लोगों की आज के खास संगठन की वेलकम करती हूँ। ये भी मधुबन में आने से
इतना सारे विश्व भर के हम बाबा के बच्चे इकट्ठे होते हैं तो लेन देन करने का भाग्य मिलता है, कुछ लेना कुछ देना। उसमें बहुत कुछ जानने, सीखने, अनुभव करने का मिलता है। तो कहां तक मधुबन में क्या जाना, क्या सीखा, क्या अनुभव किया, उसकी लेन देन होंगी।
Not hearing. Do you want the guide? Are you hearing? Are you getting translation? Yeah. It's okay now.
नहीं है मेरे को।
Daddy है।
ओके, तो नोट करना क्या जाना, क्या सीखा, क्या हमारे अनुभव में आया। तो जो अनुभव में बात आई ना, वो हमारी अनुभव की शक्ति आगे बढ़ने में लिए, रुकावटों को हटाने के लिए ऊंची और एक तरह से स्थिति बना सदा बनी रहे। एक ऐसी अच्छी मधुबन से लिफ्ट भी मिलती है, वो गिफ्ट के ऊपर मिल जाती है। जैसे लिफ्ट मिल गई, उसकी गिफ्ट मिल गई। इसी भावना से आज संगठन है। कई बातें समझा हुआ है परंतु स्पष्ट नहीं है, अनुभव करना चाहते हैं परंतु हो नहीं रहा है। तो ये सब बात जो कुछ थोड़ा बहुत कंफ्यूजन है वो खत्म हो जाएगा आज। ये है आज के संगठन के भावना। समझा गायत्री? अच्छा, बोलो अभी आप।
Before I start asking the questions, I'd just like to give a context of the questions. And an email was sent out. An email was sent out to everyone, asking them to submit, asking each country to submit a question. And so the questions that will be asked to Daddy this evening, tonight, are taken from your submissions. Also, some of you submitted questions after Baba's Murli, and I've included some of those as well. So the first one is a very simple one, Daddy. And I wanted to start off with Baba's Murli of October 21st. And the question is basically, what comfort did Baba's Murli bring to you personally? And your answers could be short. They don't have to be long.
यानी मेरे से पूछेगो,
Personally, you,
मेरे से
to your
पूछेगो
heart.
मेरे को क्या आराम मिला। अच्छा,
तो एक मिनट दादी, इसमें पहले ट्रांसलेशन होगा, इसमें हिंदी में ट्रांसलेशन होगा।
क्या मेरे को आराम?
नहीं, इसमें हाँ, आपको क्या आराम मिला, कौन सी बात से आराम मिला बाबा की मुरली से? तो सबसे पहला प्रश्न है कि बाबा की जो 21 तारीख कल परसों की मुरली थी, उसमें से दादी को कौन सी बात से आराम मिला, यानी कि दिल को राहत मिली?
कंफर्ट, अच्छा शब्द लिखा है तो समझे। अच्छा, तो शब्द सबके तरफ से बोलूंगा, अपना ही बोलूं सब।
अपना, सिर्फ अपना।
मेरा शब्द मैं समझती हूँ, मेरा शब्द समझो ऐसा निकलेगा, आपको अपने तरफ से बोलूँ ना। अच्छा ठीक है। मेरे के जो अंदर में जो पुरुषार्थ कर रही हूँ ना, उसको जैसे बाबा ने छाप लगाई, ऐसे कर बस। तो वैसे मैं कोशिश तो क्या, पर मेरा अंदर से यही एक सीक्रेट है, जैसे बाबा कहता है वैसे ही उस श्रीमत भी अच्छी मिली हुई है, उसी अनुसार ही पुरुषार्थ भी हो, उसी अनुसार ही सेवा हो। तो और ही बाबा ने मेरे को बड़ा कंफर्ट दिया। ओके, बहुत अच्छा। जैसे बाबा ने मेरे दिल बुरी बात सुनाई, बच्ची ठीक है ऐसे ही कर, ऐसे ही कर, फिक्र नहीं कर, ऐसे ही कर। तो मैंने आज गुरुदादा जी को जब कहा, मुझे फिक्र लग गया है, जितना बाबा पुरुषार्थ का फल देखने चाहता है, थोड़ा इतना नहीं है, फिक्र लगा। तो क्या फिक्र क्यों करती हूँ, फिक्र का तो मैंने समझा फिक्र नहीं करने का है, तो उसी लहर से पुरुषार्थ करने का। ओके, नेक्स्ट। ओके,
Okay, that was short and sweet, so we were off on a good start. In that same Murli Dadi, Baba, and I quote, said, "Whoever sees you, whoever you meet, whoever comes into relationship or connection with you, feel that you belong to them, just as for the Father, everyone experiences him to belong to them." Daddy, in your experience, do you think that individuals require different ways of being treated or cared for in order to experience a sense of belonging? If so, share with us an example of how you brought someone close and give them a sense of belonging after recognizing their unique need. And the idea here is that it's not that one thing, one approach or one way of bringing people close is the only way, but everyone has a unique need. And so is this the way to bring people close, by recognizing that unique need?
निराली शान है, दिल तख्त पर हमें रख लिया, खुद से ऊंचा मान देकर नाम दिल पर लिख लिया। ताज तख्त और तिलक की हमको अमर जागीर दी, ताज तख्त और तिलक की हमको अमर जागीर दी, जिंदगी जीने की हमको एक नई तदबीर दी, आपने बाबा हमें।
Om Shanti Vyakti Parivar. So tomorrow is Monday and our schedule from Amritwila 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. Evening meditation will start at 6 p.m. followed by Hindi Avyakt Murli revision, meditation English series Avyakti journey and sister sharing, and meditation Avyakt Murli revision. So that's scheduled for tomorrow. Om Shanti. Welcome to our Vyakti Journey. Avik Murlis from 1969, speaking to the heart of an angel.
Om Shanti. This is the Murli of the 28th of July, 1971. The practice of seeing the incorporeal in the subtle. Your study is so high, shows such wonders that those in whom people didn't have any hope a moment ago will have hope in them a moment later. What did the Mahavir army do? They burned the entire Lanka, so you cannot cross this ladder. You have been told of the first step of the ladder. The second step is to become victorious over your physical senses. The third step is to become victorious over your wasteful and sinful thoughts. That is the last step. But you should also have crossed the second step so that you can say with zeal and enthusiasm that you have passed fully. The second step is very easy. Since you have died alive, why is there the attraction to old physical senses? Since you have died alive, everything has finished, has it not? Just as it is shown in someone's horoscope that he will live till such an age and that he will then die. But that if he gives donations and performs charity, he will then begin his life again as though he has taken a new birth. So, you have also died alive in this way, have you not? That is, you are dead to everything, are you not? Your old life has now finished. You have now taken a new birth and you have become Brahma Kumars and Kumaris in that. So, is it possible that the Brahma Kumars and Kumaris have not yet conquered their physical senses? The past karmic accounts have now been settled. Since you have died alive, since you have become Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, how can you be influenced by the physical senses? In the new life of Brahma Kumars, you should be beyond the knowledge of what it is like to be influenced by the physical senses. Have you not yet died alive to being a Shudra? Or are you becoming that now? There isn't the slightest breath, that is, sanskar of being a Shudra trapped anywhere, is there? Some people's breath may be hidden somewhere and it emerges again after some time. Is it the same here? Would you say that you have died alive if your old sanskars are still strapped somewhere? If you have not died alive, how can you be called Brahma Kumars? You have died alive, have you not? However, Maya, in the form of the thoughts in the mind, only comes after you become a Brahma Kumar. Would a Shudra Kumar have any Maya? Why do you become confused? Say that you have died alive. You have challenged Maya after dying alive. This is why Maya comes. Why do you not say that you will battle with Maya and become victorious? You are Mahavirs, and so at least maintain your intoxication all the time. When you consider yourselves to be Brahma Kumars, you will be able to cross the second step of the ladder of being beyond the attraction of the physical senses. By having the awareness of being a Brahma Kumar and a Shiv Kumar, you will never fail. Because when you consider yourself to be a Brahma Kumar, you also have the awareness of the task and the virtues of a Brahma Kumar. So you have had this bhakti in order to cross the second and third step and come close to the stage of passing with honors. So, together with the finishing of the bhakti, you also have to finish this. A stage is created on the basis of the place. The place, Madhuban, is such that it changes your stage. The place has an effect on one's stage. Each one has so much intoxication of his own place. Do people not have the intoxication of their own country and limited residence? If someone is living in a large mansion or a palace, that place would surely have an effect on the stage. So, all of you are in the most elevated place of all. So this should also have an effect on your stage. You are residents of the elevated land of blessings. And so you should make your stage one that constantly gives to others. Only those who are images that grant visions can give blessings. Even when devotees receive blessings, they receive them through an image that grants visions. So, you can only become images that grant blessings by becoming the practical form of the images that grant visions. You have to become bestowers, children of the bestower, not ones who take, but ones who give. You have to give at every second, through every thought. When you become bestowers, what is the main virtue of a bestower? Generous-hearted. Can those who are instrument to uplift others not uplift themselves? Constantly think that you are children of the bestower. and that you should not stay without giving for even a second. Such a soul is called a great bestower. Your door for giving should always be open, just as the doors of a temple are always open. It is nowadays that they close them. In the same way, the door for giving by the children of the bestower can never be closed. Check at every second and in every thought whether you gave something and that you did not take anything. Continue to give. You have to take from the Father. You have already taken that. You now have to give. Acha, you will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti.
Become free from problems. Become an embodiment of solutions and make others this also. Be Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. In order to have liberation from the storms of your thoughts or from any other relationship, or when any type of obstacle or storm comes, be Yogyukt and Yuktiyukt. Until you become Yogyukt, you will be full of problems. Yogyukt souls change storms into a gift.
समस्या मुक्त समाधान स्वरूप बनो और बनाओ। योगयुक्त युक्ति युक्त बनो। अपने संकल्पों के तूफान व कोई भी संबंध द्वारा प्रकृति व समस्याओं द्वारा तूफान व विघ्न आते हैं, तो उनसे मुक्ति पाने योगयुक्त युक्ति युक्त बनो। जब तक योग युक्त नहीं, तब तक विघ्नों से युक्त हो। योग युक्त आत्माएं तूफान को भी तोहफा बना देती हैं। शांति।
योगी जीवन बड़ा ही प्यारा, ये प्रभु का वरदान है। योगी जीवन बड़ा ही प्यारा, ये प्रभु का वरदान है। दिल की दुआएं वो पाए सभी का, हर दिल का अरमान है। योगी जीवन बड़ा ही प्यारा।
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.